Now let's get into probably the biggest spender in free agency. They went out and they got your boy. Let's talk about the New England Patriots. Mike Vrabel coming in and making some fucking moves, man.
He
They
said he was going to be a spender. He said it.
yeah.
He's right.
What do you think about the Patriots moves, Max?
Milton Williams for $26 million is a little rich for my taste. He's a great player, but I think it's a bit of an overpay. I'm rooting for him. Obviously, Philly guy. But you have the money to play with, right? We know this. You could go back to every Super Bowl champion. One player off that team who was good gets paid. For the Ravens, it was what? Philip Wheeler. Who was the white edge rusher they had? He got paid. Oh my goodness.
For
What
who?
was his
For
name?
who? For the Ravens?
Baltimore. Yeah, the white
Paul
edge
Kruger.
rusher. Paul Kruger. Paid.
Yeah.
100%. Like, that's what happens to teams that win a Super Bowl. Like key starters go get paid. And when you have the money, no big deal. So I like the move. They did some other things. They got Carlton Davis, really like that move.
I
I think Harold Landry is a bargain just waiting to happen.
Yeah, I think all these guys are very solid, man. I was very jealous on what the Patriots did. I thought they spent their money wisely, and they got guys, Max, that are culture guys. They're not guys
Yeah.
that are flashy.
Vrabel's building something.
It's
Yeah,
really
Vrabel's
really
building
the
something.
only guy that I'm kind of about, and I'm kind of confident about it because it's Vrabel's guy. Is really just Harold Landry. That's really the only guy. But Robert Spillane, coming from a Raider fan, it's a guy that you love to have. He's a Mike linebacker. He has the green dot on his head. He's gonna go out. He's gonna play
He's
fucking
out
hard. He's
there
a
every
leader.
snap.
Yeah,
Every
he's
snap
gonna
he's there.
he's gonna lay it out. Carlton Davis, he's been great. He played amazing last year for the Lions. He fits that Lions DNA, that grittiness, that fucking savageness in him. And then they got Milton Williams, a guy with a bunch of talent, and he was the prize. He was the prize of free agency. He was the number one player on a lot of guys' boards, and they got him. They wound up outbidding the Carolina Panthers, in fact.
Yeah.
So I love what Vrabel's doing. They sign a guy in Mac Hollins, another guy that's just a grinder. Like, he's just gonna go in.
Morgan Moses is going to be a big help for that O-line that was so bad for Drake May. And I mean, obviously though, they didn't make enough moves where you're like, okay, they're not going to take a tackle. No, that's still in the possibility. But one thing they did is, I think the move's not going to be defense to start the draft, because they really bolster their defense. And they already had some key pieces in place where you're like, damn, I still love Kyle Duggar. Still like him. Christian Gonzalez is a stud.
Now I feel like, Max, they're licking their chops at Travis Hunter. That just screams. Like, if Travis Hunter's on the board, they're picking him. There's no doubt in my mind if he falls. So I bet they're hoping for that. They're not tied to anything no more. This is part of it. Like I said with the Raiders, you don't want to be putting yourself in a position in the draft where your hands are tied behind your back, where you're forced to make a move off your roster. Like, you have to. Oh fuck, we don't have this. This is a need. This is a huge need. It's such a big hole. You want to go into the draft with the least amount of holes as possible. You want to build guys. You want to be able to take the best player available, because those are the guys that wind up getting the best value and wind up being most of the time the best guy on the board. So I love what the Patriots did. Kind of jealous. Mike Vrabel's doing a hell of a job, man.
Big dreams, everything ain't what it seems. Glittering gold, both ways. Not on my team. This organic, we don't buy streams.